Hello everyone, today we'll be drawing Venom. I'm just using a Faber-Castell pencil here, but you can use whatever pencil you have on hand, and we sharpened it so that there are no dull spots on our picture. So let's get started. Okay, so here I'm just starting with the eye. It's kind of Spider-Man shaped, but a little bit thinner. It's also a sharper look than Spider-Man's eyes. Adding a small drop of goop. Top the peak of the eye here, and we're coming back down. Adding a little cut there. And we finished the eye. So I'm starting from the mouth and I'm making a line. And so now I'm figuring out how wide the space should be between Venom's eye and the rest of his head.
Two hours later.
Now I'm planning out how the top of the mouth is gonna look. It's only a little bit away from the eye, and it's going to be a triangular kind of shape. But right now we're just adding the line where the top of the mouth is gonna go. From the top of the mouth to the bottom where the chin is gonna go.
Three hours later.
And so now I'm just adding the inside of the mouth, going from the bottom to the front of the mouth. We can start adding one of the most important parts, which is the teeth. Also, a quick heads up. Once I finish the teeth, please pause the video so you can see the shapes of the teeth and you can draw your own. Now I'm going to speed this part up.
One eternity later.
Okay, so now we're gonna start working on the top of the mouth again. I'm just working from the front of the mouth back to the top to make that triangle. So I'm making these lines. Right now they don't really look like goop, but once we color them in part 2, they will look like lines of goop between the mouth, and that's what we're gonna make them. You can also see me shading here. I did say we're coloring in part 2. This just helps me plan my color scheme. You don't necessarily have to do this, but if you would like to, that is completely fine.
The next day.
Lines and crisscrosses that are eventually gonna end up as our lines of goop.
A few moments later.
Okay, so now I'm adding this line above the front of Venom's mouth, which almost makes it look like he's screeching or screaming and kind of gives it a scary look. If you don't want to add this, this is not necessary, but I like the detail. Okay, so here you can see I'm trying to make the jaw a little bit wider so it looks like he's really screeching and he has his mouth open wider. And you can see that I'm not erasing the first chin that I did because in part 2 we will be erasing and coloring, so we do not need to worry about this right now. However, if you do make a mistake and you want to erase it right away, that is completely okay as well. Just fixing up the details of the upper mouth and the chin. Now we can add the part that really makes Venom Venom, which is the tongue. So I'm planning out where the tongue is going to go behind the upper part of the mouth, and I'm planning out what it's going to look like below the front part of the mouth, and then I'm going to add the tip of the tongue and all the curves. Curved lines. Also, you do not have to make your picture exactly like mine. If you would like to, that is completely okay, but make it in your own way to where you enjoy it. As for those thin lines, we've just added drill marks and now we're heading on to the bottom row of teeth, which are messy, so they should not be looking perfect. Just bringing out those drill marks a little bit more, and now we're heading back to the bottom row of teeth, working our way over to the left side. Remember that Venom's teeth are perfect if they look messy. We're on the left side now. Venom's teeth are also very sharp and curved. And we are done with the teeth with about 5 minutes left here. Okay, so I'm starting the back. I did not end up liking the back, so I covered half of it with clouds. You could still see the back, but we are erasing and coloring in part 2, so you do not have to erase right now. You can just make a small line, a small curved line coming from the head and cover the back part with clouds. You can see I'm starting the neck. I did not like the first half of the neck, so I did end up covering the same half of the back with clouds. I covered both with clouds, and I put some clouds in the background. I'm gonna make mine a stormy scene, and you do not have to make it a stormy scene. You can make it a sunny day, or you don't even have to add clouds if you end up liking your drawing. But for me personally, I want it to look a little more professional than this, so I end up covering most of the back and the neck with clouds. Here I'm adding the separation between the neck and the back, and we have about 4 minutes left here. Here you can see I'm adding clouds now, and they do not look very professional at the moment, but once we erase and color the picture in part 2, it will look much better, so please stay tuned for part 2. Also, if you end up liking my videos, please subscribe, it really helps the channel. Again, making the jaw a little bit wider so it gives it a scarier look. Okay, so this does look like clouds, but I'm actually adding veins here. Once we color the picture, it will be way more clear, and by that time, our picture will be looking very, very good. Okay, so if you do not watch Marvel movies or read Marvel comic books, now you have a little bit of knowledge of who Venom is. He is one of the scariest Marvel villains in my opinion. Now I'm writing down his name, and I'm writing it in the style where it looks like it's made out of the symbiote goop. And that is just the style I want to write it in, but if you would like to write it in a different style, then go right ahead. If you do not, then wait until I'm done writing and then pause the video so you can see how I write it. Okay guys, this is about the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, please like and subscribe. Bye friends, hope you enjoyed.